Hey guys, welcome to the Vibes TCG with the Professor. All right, in this video today, we have a very special treat. We have the BizBunk legend himself, Suarez. Suarez, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited
Great,
to be here.
great. Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. It's such an honor to talk to someone of your caliber in terms of playing games and also business. We can start with a little bit of the games part. Tell us a little bit about your background. So we have your player spotlight here. It says you also play
Yeah.
MTG and I believe Flesh and Blood and now Vibes. So you want to tell us how you got started with TCGs?
Yeah, so I joined Magic, back in oh man, in middle school, to give you my age, back in 1999. Playing at the lunch tables with my best friends that I'm still friends with today, 20 some odd years later. So I've been playing Magic competitively, qualified for Pro Tours, played their Grand Prix, which are like they're kind of like the 10K versions of what we see in Vibes, but a little bit bigger. But yeah, played that. Obviously, my job with Star City Games is heavily Magic focused, even though I deal with mostly events. And then when Flesh and Blood came out, I kind of joined that TCG. I liked it a lot. Qualified for the first Pro Tour and the second U.S. Nationals, and played that for a little bit. And then obviously Vibes came along, and very very excited to be playing this game.
So for those not familiar, when you mentioned a pro tour for Magic and Flesh and Blood, like
Mhm.
what does it mean for a pro tour? Like how much dedication is that or what kind of qualifying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously the better players can get there pretty quickly. I think it took me, 12 years of playing to finally get onto a pro tour. These are events that they run basically 3 to 4 times a year. They're about 300 or 400 players total each. They are incredibly difficult to qualify for, and they're usually somewhere in like the $500,000 prize pool type of events. So, not very easy to get there. I did not do exceptionally well once I got there, but had a lot of fun competing at the higher levels.
Okay, so basically if someone were to make it to a pro tour, that just means they're on a circuit now where they're playing in higher level tournaments.
Yes, higher level tournaments, professional level tournaments, higher prize pools, much more difficult competition than you're going to see at your local game store. It's basically the best of the best in the world coming together to play, whatever that TCG is.
And then how does one qualify for the pro tour? Is it like local tournaments?
So for Magic, they used to have local tournaments. Now you have to win a local tournament, and then you go to like a stage two style tournament. And if you make the top 32 out of it's about 1,000 players, then you qualify for that pro tour.
Got it.
So it is not the easiest thing in the world to do anymore for sure.
Okay. And so you're definitely accomplished in terms of your TCG background, getting into the pro tour of Magic and Flesh and Blood, and then now with Vibes, you have quite a few accolades under you. You can see in the player spotlight, you qualified through the World's Tournament through the North America Zonals, which you won, correct?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really really fun tournament and a really broken deck.
Yeah, so you're basically the first ever North American Vibes champion. And then at the Worlds event, you came in runner-up, so you were second place in the Worlds.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep. Lost to another really good player from the Philippines, Eton, with his BizBunk deck. So
yeah. Would you still classify that a broken deck at that time, or only at the North
yeah,
American?
absolutely.
Okay,
I think it was a very good deck.
okay, yeah. So okay, now that you've talked about MTG and then Flesh and Blood and then now Vibes, like if I were to ask you, like rank your, which out of those three, like what's your one, two, three game now? What would it be?
I mean, I play Vibes more than I play anything at this point, any other games.
Okay.
I think that Magic and Flesh and Blood are both fantastic games. Obviously, they've been around. Flesh and Blood only for about 5 years, 6 years now, but Magic for going on 30 plus years. So it's got a lot of longevity. It's the godfather of TCGs. It
Right.
created the whole space. Um, but Vibes is like just so incredibly fun, especially for a game with two sets. It's so hard for a game to be this fun with so few cards.
Yeah.
So they've really done a stellar job.
Agreed. And then jumping up, pivoting a little bit, you mentioned Star City Games. So tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about your role there. I looked it up. It says you're an assistant vice president. So I guess tell us what you do currently at your job.
Yeah, so I'm the assistant vice president of events. Basically, if you come to any event that Star City Games hosts, it's been kind of logistically planned and run through me and my team. So I handle all of our venue logistics and coordinations. Um booking the venues, building the floor plans, booking the exhibitors, working with my organized play team to develop what events we're going to offer to everybody, working with publishers like Orange Cap Games and some others that we're kind of bringing into our tournament series, which is called the SEG Con, where we bring a couple of thousand of players together every month for various TCGs to just come out and play their favorite games in a high competitive level. So yeah, that's basically my role in a nutshell. Is if it touches events, it's probably run through me in some capacity.
Yeah, that's a lot of responsibilities. A couple of questions with that. The first one is, are you guys in charge of which judges to bring or invite, or is that on the games
Yeah,
themselves?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We contract my organized play team does a fantastic job of that. They have between our manager and assistant manager together, they probably have, I don't know, 30, 40 years of experience doing this at the highest levels. And yeah, we contract our own staff that we bring in for judges, for our learn to play staff, for the various TCGs that we offer. We we do pretty much all of that. We contract the artists, vendors. Yep.
Yeah, nice. And then, my first experience with a SCG Con event was in Portland for the Vibes World Championship. And from my experience there, I mean, I was just focused more on the Vibes event, but taking a step back really and looking at the floor plan, the judging, the booths available, the artists available. I mean, now I know who to thank. So thank you, Suarez. I thought that was a great event for me.
Absolutely.
Great experience.
I'm
Um,
glad you enjoyed it.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes me hyped to attend more SCG Con events. And then, for those that don't know, Vibes is continue to be partnered with SCG, and they're going to be featured in the roster for 2026, right? And they're all going to be 10K.
Yeah. Yeah, every SCG Con is going to host a 10K for sure for the remainder of 2026. Pretty
Okay,
excited for it.
so in that case, tell me how did Vibes get into SCG? Because I'm thinking SCG is a big deal to get your game in there. Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, they actually had a partner. I'm not exactly sure what his role was, but it was kind of like somebody who grew partnerships
Uh,
that used
okay.
to work for them during the Set One era. Uh, and he's somebody I knew through Magic forever, and somebody that I'd been
Uh,
friends with at events, and he went to bat for the game, wanted me to kind of meet Spencer and the Orange Cap team, and that's basically all it took was playing a little bit of the game, meeting the people behind it, seeing that they had a clear vision for what they want to do and they want to grow the game, and then playing the game and seeing that it actually was. I I tell everybody my story. My origin story for Vibes was playing with a friend while we were at a Magic tournament, just with the green and yellow precons, and we played 3 or 4 games, and we just stopped playing Magic the rest of the weekend, and we just kept jamming the the green and yellow precons, just head to head and switching back and forth because the game was so fun. So yeah, I mean, it was really just a solid game and good people.
so really, all it took for OCG to get onto the SCG roster was a friend getting you into it, and then you giving your personal stamp of approval.
Yeah, once I had my experience with it, I like to one of the things I try to do is to bring publishers into our convention series
Right.
to try and grow the TCG scene. And yeah, it kind of just worked out. Spencer actually came down to Roanoke, and where we're stationed and where our headquarters are, and we met with him, had some really good conversations, and it just made a lot of sense. So we wanted to go ahead and try it out.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for that. I'm sure the rest of the Vibes community as well. And then going back to SCG real quick, sounds like you have a dream job. Someone that loves TCGs, competes, and then now works for the vendor that puts the tournaments. Like, how did you get into that role? Like, it's almost like
Yeah,
a gamer's dream.
so I used to play their events back in the late 2000s. They were basically Star City. It was called the Star City Tour. They would go around from city to city for Magic events that they ran on their own. I had some friends who got hired there as a buyer or a purchaser of Magic because that's all they did at the time. So they would buy the Magic cards at all these events for them, and that's what I actually got hired on as. I was a buyer for Star City for 3 years before I kind of went off the road. But it was a lot of fun. I got to travel somewhat of like 40 weekends a year to different events to buy cards,
Yeah.
which was an incredible amount of fun in my early 20s. But after about 3 years of that, I cooled off. I got offered a management position and came into the office to kind of work from the ground up there.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you the next question, like best part of your job right now and worst part of or not, wouldn't say worst, but what you don't like about your job.
As I've gotten older and I've got a family now, I've got 3 kids, travel is a little bit harder than it was in my early 20s.
Right.
So it's not that I don't like travel. I do enjoy travel, but last year I went to I think somewhere like 18 events, so 18 plus weeks, 20 plus weekends that I was
Yeah.
gone, which is a lot with 3 kids.
Right.
So that can be the best and worst part of the job.
Got it.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy coming out to the events, seeing all the people. I get to see friends that I had from when I before I even came to Star City, which is now 15 years I've been there. That I get to see coming back to various TCGs. One of my good friends from North Carolina, who I haven't seen in I'd say a decade, showed up to SCGCon Portland, and I taught him vibes, and he played in the 10K on Sunday
Oh,
and
nice.
cashed it. So
Nice. Cool, cool. Yeah, so thanks for sharing your background on your, your TCG playing and also your work, because I'm sure there's probably some people out there thinking about, possible options branching out from just playing a game. So focusing on your deck right now,
sure.
start with your favorite card. So Penguin Who's Okay is your favorite card. I would think it'd be Bunkus, but so tell us why
Yeah.
it's Penguin Who's Okay.
Everyone will think that.
Yeah,
I don't. It's just the perfect meme. Like that was like one of the things I loved about Vibes when Set One was out was all the memes that were in it, and seeing the penguin who's okay was just fantastic. I actually have the oversized card for penguin who's okay as well. Um, I don't know. It's just he's great. The fish on
yeah,
the head, the fire everywhere.
yeah.
It's great. And honestly, at the North American zonals, a lot of people really didn't like Penguin Who's Okay in the BizBunk deck, which is kind of crazy. Some of the people were cutting them from that list.
Yeah.
And that card can really help you win the game all on its own. So,
Right, right. Okay, and speaking of the deck, we're gonna take a dive into your deck here that you ran for Worlds.
mhm.
You want to talk us through sort of like the key pieces, or I guess what's the deck aiming to do, and what are the key pieces?
Yeah, so for World specifically, I tested with Chonker. For those of you in Discord who know Chonker, and we established really quickly that Red Purple was going to be the best deck for Worlds. We tested it heavily. We were pretty confident in it, and I had a pretty good feeling that this BizBunk deck was going to be very very good against Red Purple, and it's exactly what we thought. Over half the field for Worlds was Red Purple, and Bunkus just kind of slid its way right through all of them. So it's in a really good position when Red Purple's out there. Coliseum, however, is a problem matchup, so that's why you see the 14s in the deck.
Hmm.
Um, it's not even Mount Fuji as much as it is Coliseum. You just have to be able to make sure that you can take care of these problematic relics. Fuji's obviously a problem too, but
Right.
that's why you want that card. And then honestly, from there, the deck is basically what it was in set one. You're just trying to go draw as many cards as possible as quickly as possible. I've added Penguin Who Slides here from set two. That was really just a concession against Coliseum, having a
Ah,
4-drop that could kind of steal a vibe check away from a green Mega Penguin on turn four, so that you slow them down from playing Coliseum was really good
right.
in the 2 times that I played it. But uh, that card could be flexed into basically anything.
Yeah. And then looking at the rest of the cards that's left here, this is all set one basically.
Yeah, it's just set one. I played an extra removal spell from my zonal list with the philosophical debate. Um, Played the extra what's and the extra fourth wall because that just speeds the deck up a little bit. Just being able to chain things through.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
in this set, you kind of have to slow down, especially against red purple. You have plenty of time, so Ascending Penguin doesn't just get played on turn 3 or turn 4 in this deck. You do really wait until you're ready to combo for the most part before you play it. But yeah, everything else in here is just the standard BizBunk shell that you would see, I think, in basically every list.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks solid. Let's run through a couple games with it. We'll have
Yeah, absolutely.
Suarez pilot this with me playing. So a little caveat on the online client. The timer is basically half, or if not most of the challenge, right?
Without a doubt. You have to play 4 what's to make sure that you can reset your timer,
Right.
and you kind of just have to move as quickly as you can. You can. I applaud the people who can play this deck efficiently online. I am not one of them. I had to test this deck for Worlds in paper,
Yeah.
um, because it's just so difficult. But it is, that's certainly not a bad thing. I don't think you want a bunch of bunkus running around on the ladder. So
Yeah. And then in terms of the actual playing it in paper, the timer is less of a concern, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you still need to play efficiently and in a timely manner. But the deck has a lot of similarities to some old Magic decks that I've played in the past, and that's one of the reasons I every time I watch back any kind of coverage, people talk about how quickly I'm able to go through my ice,
Yes.
and kind of it's second nature to me because I've played other TCGs where I had to do something very similar.
Okay.
Um, so that's kind of why I'm able to. It's just muscle memory.
Yeah, for those that haven't seen it, the Vibes team did a great job streaming production of the World's Championship Day 1 and Day 2, and there's a couple games with Suarez, but also other BizBunk players, and it's just
Mhm.
amazing. I don't play BizBunk, so it was just such fascinating to see how they're so efficient at separating their ice into groups and piles, and everybody has their own technique doing it, but they're following
Yep.
sort of a logic to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Eton, who won it, had a the four pile strategy,
Yeah,
which was cards that don't matter, cards that do matter, cards that you can play from your ice,
yeah,
and then things you need to make sure of. So it was fun to see.
yeah. Cool, cool. All right, we're gonna queue in for a game, and let's see how we do with this deck.
Sure. So I guess real quick, when we're in here, the main thing you're looking for in your opening hands with this deck, you want a Sending Penguin. That's the card that kind of drives the entire deck. There are other cards you can keep. You can keep things like Penguin Who's Okay, especially if it's combined with Brainy Penguin. But I think this deck in particular, uh, it mulligans more than any other deck in Vibes. Maybe Coliseum, because Coliseum needs to find a one drop or a one cost penguin very quickly. But this deck is a combo deck. Um, you just need to find a sending penguin as quickly as you can.
Okay, so basically, in the first five draw, if there is no ascending penguin, you don't hesitate to send it all back.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a world where if your five has like a brainy penguin and a penguin who's okay, you can keep that. But you're not even really looking for Bismo. Most people think you do look for Bismo, and that was something that took me a long time playing the deck, where I do not keep Bismo in my opening hand
Oh,
almost ever. Um, because putting it on the bottom of my ice, I know where it's at, and I can
ah,
plan my game to get to that card. Um,
got it.
and even if I don't, you're going to be playing Bunkus so much, you're going to be stacking your deck so much out of your ice that you can kind of make sure you get to the point where you know where Bismo is in your deck, and you can just draw it and play it naturally. So that's a card you really don't want in your opening hand. You'll mulligan it almost. I'd probably just say every time. I don't think I've ever kept a hand with a Bismo in it.
Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a BizBunk player, but I tried, just getting a little bit of experience before our call here, and I thought Bismo was a keep, so I was actually keeping
Yeah,
that.
I absolutely. I when I was learning the deck in set one, that was definitely a problem I had where I actually think it was Luffy who mentioned it in a video once, was like, you're gonna see so many cards. You're gonna find another Bismo. You don't need it in your hand. You need to focus on Ascending Penguin. And he was 100% right. And I've kind of prescribed to that
Mhm.
thought process moving forward. So, uh,
Oh, here we go. All right. Oh, Airy. Okay.
oh, Airy. Okay. Well, we know Erie's going to be on some green thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep sending Penguin, Penguin who's okay. We're going to mulligan the fourth wall, and we're going to send that to the bottom, and we'll send the Bashful as well. And I
Okay.
would send the Study All Night. I would just keep the three. Yep,
Oh,
yep,
keep
yep.
penguins.
Get rid of that too. Yep,
Okay.
keep those two. Those are great. Yep,
All right.
I think that's exactly where you want to be. It's pretty good hand. So we'll probably start our ice off or our rods off with Bunkus. That we're going to end up, putting him in the ice with a Study All Night or a penguin or a fourth wall at some point. So,
All right.
yep, just throw that Bunkus right into your rods, and then we're going to pass. So
So in this case, where we,
Erie, yeah, Erie is known to play all kinds of crazy decks. So I would not be surprised to see them on some sort of mill strategy.
yeah, and that's good for us, right? As a Bunkus player.
Yeah, Bunkus is pretty good against Mill,
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
for sure.
And I had a question. Since we did end up with Bismo in our hand, do we then try to keep
Mhm.
keep them here till the end, or do you sometimes
It it
rod
can
them?
it can vary. I
Okay.
will rod it. I've rotted 2, 3 Bismos before, knowing I only need one. So
Oh, okay.
So it definitely varies, but yeah, you don't need it right now.
Yeah,
So it'd be more about what Erie is going to do, and then we'll just have to kind of plan around that. So yeah, obviously if he's a mill strategy, that's pretty good for us.
yeah. So there's no obligation to hold on to it till the end.
No, not at all.
Got
Not
it.
at all. You're going to find another one, but you're probably never going to play two purple mega penguins, so that
Yeah.
can easily be a rod this time.
Right. And then rod placement, all we care about is sending bunkers to the ice as long as we keep track of where that is, right?
Yeah, Bunkus, and then penguin who breaks the fourth wall sometimes will end up in your ice.
Yeah.
Sometimes overwhelmed with knowledge will end up in your ice. But
Okay.
yep,
And then do we do
and
anything
then we're going
here?
to play the penguin who's okay.
Okay. And then we're going to start
And
milling.
now we're going to start milling ourselves. Yep.
Okay. Got it.
But right now we're not, because we're not going to win the vibe check. It's going to be a tie, but hopefully that'll slow him down as well.
Yeah. Got it. And then, so you were saying penguin who's okay pairs well with brainy penguin. So
It does, yeah.
that's probably our follow-up
Yep.
play here. Okay.
Yep. It just starts your icing engine real quick and just starts piling up your ice. Cards for these blue decks, you do have to keep in mind things like, I believe it's called Misplace, which is the one that you'll just target yourself here. But Misplace chooses a card in your ice and then it can't be played. That card's a problem, so you have
Yeah.
to be careful for that. So I think here we're probably going to rod a Bismo and play a Pranny Penguin, and we'll probably discard the Overwhelm and the Study All Night. Yep, yep. And we'll just keep churning here. We'll target ourselves. Yep. Oh yeah, we're rolling now.
Oh yeah.
Now you've got two overwhelms in your ice, so now you can control your rods the way you want to. Whenever you want the Bunkus out of your rods, you basically have it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and we can pass here. Yeah.
Do you generally play with your rods face up or face down?
I do, yeah. In the digital client, I play face up out, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
That's just my habits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was afraid he was doing this.
Oh no.
All right. So the cool part is, you can flash this. You can play your overwhelm with knowledge from your ice, and I think if you sacrifice the rod that he's targeting, it'll fizzle the
Okay.
spell.
Which one do we want to send?
So which one was he targeting? I think he was targeting Bismo.
He targeted Bismo in the Mega Penguin.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and sack the Bismo to play the overwhelm.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this fizzles the spell. We'll find out.
Yeah, let's find out. I actually didn't even think about that, but you might be bringing up a good point because it says choose two rods.
Yep.
All right, so
And
let's
then
pass.
you'll draw your card. Your penguin will trigger after.
Oh, it did.
Yep.
It fizzled it.
Yep. Yep.
Nice.
So it's pretty good.
Oh, that's a nice little counter there.
Yep. And now you're going to win. So I would cast the overwhelm with knowledge out of your hand as well using the brainy penguin,
Okay.
as we're just trying to turbo out as quickly as we can.
Okay.
And now you're going to win the vibe check. So you'll actually be ready to cast an ascending penguin next turn as well.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else here, or we're good to
Nope.
pass?
Nope. I think we're good to go. Yep. We want to get a rod here. That gets us to 3. And then we can rod something. Probably this penguin who breaks the fourth wall.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll ice a card. Yep.
Go
Penguin
ahead.
who breaks the fourth wall's our rod. And then we will play an ascending penguin. And now the party starts. So
And then if we are to send rods to the ice, it'd be favorably Bunkus and then fourth wall, right? Those are our top
yeah,
picks.
it depends on what you're wanting to do. Honestly, at this point, because you already have 2 bunkuses in your ice, it's probably fourth wall first.
Oh, okay.
Um, because that kind of lets you start the combo of being able to play fourth wall from your ice, move the other 2 bunkus, or move the other bunkus there, mill a
Yeah.
bunch of cards. So
Got
yeah, I
it.
think you're gonna pass here, and we're just gonna have to see what he does.
Yeah, and I'm
Uh,
usually taking a little bit of time with the timer here because
yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to get the thought process going because I know that there will be a time when we're going to be crunched for moves here.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
So I would probably just draw a card. Well, yeah, I'd probably just draw a card with overwhelm
Oh, from hand, right?
out of your hand. Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't matter which one we tap.
It doesn't. No,
Okay.
no, you can just tap either one of them.
And then again, this is just to kind of cycle through, right?
Yeah, you just want to power through as much as you can. Keep drawing cards. Keep icing cards from your library. What does this do?
Choose a penguin and turn it face down as a rod. Oh, turn it into a
Okay, all
rod.
right.
And we don't.
Um, yeah, there's not much we can do about
Yeah.
that, so
Okay.
we're gonna
Flip.
let that go.
All right.
That is something to keep in mind. So he has 3 penguins to play that card.
Yeah. It's three
All
costs.
right. Well, there's our next rod with Tina.
Oh, we had two
Okay.
whats. Nice.
2 whats? 3
Three?
whats?
Whoa.
All right.
And then
Not too bad.
yeah, I'm looking at our ice now because if we are going to send stuff with Bunkus, we're going to be targeting the spells first, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but spells first, always. Yep.
Okay.
We do usually leave some overwhelm with knowledges in there because you want to be able to
Oh,
control your rods and draw
okay.
cards. But I don't think we're on the Bunkus plan quite yet.
Right.
I think we're probably just passing here, winning another vibe check, keep ramping
Okay.
your rods up. So we're
Yep.
gonna have to try and win in like 1 or 2 big turns.
Okay.
So um, I
And
think we're in a pretty good position.
when you're saying ramp up the rods, like, is there a certain number of rods you're aiming for, or you just kind of go with it?
In set one there was, but now you probably just want as much as you can get right now. Tina
Okay.
is probably your rod
Okay.
for now. I mean, here's the thing with 2 penguins who are okay and overwhelmed with knowledges and winning vibe checks, you almost don't even need a sending penguin half the time. So
Okay.
I would probably just play a penguin who's okay
And just hold ascending.
um, and just hold ascending for now. Let's see what happens. I don't think we're in any danger of him kind of taking over the game. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would just play it a little slow.
Yeah. No, good point there. And then we've been holding on to the Mega Penguin in hand.
Mhm.
Is there a target for that? Maybe a Bismo later or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's going to be a Bismo later. That's definitely one of the ways you're gonna win the game. Sometimes it'll need to pick up an ascending penguin if he happens to remove them all,
Okay.
and you need it to combo. So there's definitely the purple mega penguin does all kinds of things. And one of the things I actually learned at Worlds, I did not even realize this. It can pick up any card. I thought it could only pick up penguins.
Ah. Hmm.
It can just pick up anything. If you want another removal spell, you can pick up another adventure squad or
Right.
a draw spell or whatever.
Yeah. Nice. And then we somehow picked up Adventure Squads, through the action here. And then
Mhm.
are we saving Adventure Squads for like a popcorn, or like what are we targeting with that?
Yeah, I don't know what he has,
Hmm.
so it's more about keeping it just in case.
Okay.
Um, so we're going to win the vibe check here. What's in our rod zone right now? Let's go ahead and play the overwhelm with knowledge and sacrifice the penguin who breaks the fourth wall
Got it.
rod. Just to keep the draw going, we're going to mill another 2 cards. We're going to
Okay.
have a now we'll have the yep, we'll have the penguin who breaks the fourth wall in our ice, so that if we want to go for some sort of combo turn where we have ascending penguin, penguin who breaks the fourth wall into Bunkus into Bismo, like
Hmm.
that's a line that we have now
Okay.
because it's now in the ice. This deck is all about kind of picking and figuring out your spots.
Because there's multiple
And
lines to win it, right?
there's so many different lines. I told everyone at Worlds I think I play the deck fairly well, and I think I play it at about 75% of what it could actually be played at. This deck is very, very, very good.
Okay. And then in terms
Um,
of general strategy for the deck, do we keep track of how many is left in our deck? We are at 22,
yeah,
or
absolutely.
okay.
Because right now, I mean, you're if you just happen to run through your entire deck and play Abysmo, you just win.
Yeah.
Um, but you can just naturally win by icing yourself with Penguin who breaks the or Penguin who's okay, and then just casting Abysmo.
Yeah. So
So
are there are
we're in
there
pretty good position right now.
yeah, are there key numbers you're keeping track of? Like if you're at like 15 cards left, or like when do you kind of like set
It
triggers?
it depends. Ascending Penguin throws that math. You need to pay attention to what kind of penguins you have in your ice.
Okay.
How big your bunkus is going to be if you cast it. Right now, your bunkus isn't that big
Yeah,
because you have
22. Yeah.
yeah, you have 11 penguins and 6 non-penguins, so we're not in any way casting bunkus yet. Right now, I think we're gonna go for a win where we just draw a bunch of cards, mill ourselves, or ice ourselves with penguin who's okay, and cast Bismo. Cast purple mega penguin, sack something, and then play a Bismo with an empty board. I think is where we're gonna land.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's at 11 total permanents. So, how many cards are in ice right now?
Uh, 21
Or
out.
in our library,
We have 15 left.
15 left.
15 left, and here's our ice.
Yeah. I would I would play a Adventure Squad
as a rod?
as a rod. Yep. I would play Ascending Penguin, and then I would play the Bashful Swordsman Penguin. So now we're going to ice 7 cards. We're going to be left with
8 cards.
8.
Hmm.
Yep. So now we just need to be careful on what he's going to make us do.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to win the. We're going to win. That'll put us a rod to 7. We'll draw. That'll give us 6. We'll mill 2 with the Penguin Who's Okay. That'll put us at 4. So we do need to draw cards here. So once we go to action time, we're probably going to cast this study all night.
Okay.
8 cards in ice.
8 in the deck and 29 in our ice.
Right, so 8 will give us 7, 6, by 4, 3, 2, 1, draw. Yeah, I think we're okay. As long as we don't mess this up, which is definitely capable.
So
How many what's are in the ice? All 4?
yeah, 4 what's in the ice, and all Bismos are played out already. One's a rod, 3's in the ice.
Perfect. Perfect. So our plan is to cast Steady all night, draw 2 cards, ice 4 cards. So that leaves us with 6 cards, correct? Or with 2 cards?
Yes.
Yep. And then we'll win a rod. We'll draw for our turn. We'll ice him 2 cards. We'll play a purple Mega Penguin, picking up a BizBunk or a Bismo, and we'll win.
Okay.
So it's all a matter of what he does here. Let's see.
As long as he doesn't make us draw, right?
As long as he doesn't make us draw, that's the key. Which we can turn the draws around. So we're going to study all night. Actually, let's draw the 2 and then make him ice, because this will put us at 6, right?
Yeah. So draw
6
2.
cards after this.
Yep. So we go from 8 to 6.
Just pitch the Penguin Who Slides and I guess the Ascending Penguin.
Ascending. Okay.
Keep the Adventure Squad. All right, so now we have 6. We have 5.
And
yeah, go ahead and ice him. Just so we don't get caught by some sort of draw spell or anything like that. We don't want to get super unlucky here.
yeah, because
we should win the vibe check.
Yeah, that would have put us at 2 right there. If we
Yep, if he had some way of making us draw, that would be bad. So
okay, so he's passing
let's
the vibe
just
check.
win
the vibe check.
Yep.
Okay.
Pass the vibe check.
So we rod 1, be at 5, and then draw 1 will be at 4.
And then we can just ice ourselves. So we draw, we ice ourselves. We play purple Mega Penguin.
So we're at 2 cards. So play purple Mega, pick up the Bismo.
Yep, sacrifice the Penguin Who's Okay. Or, yep, that works too.
Oh, and you said okay. It says somehow.
It doesn't matter. We've won the game. As long as we pick up Bismo here, we've won. Yeah. So pick up Bismo. Yeah, sometimes you don't even need to play Bunkus. And this was a great example of how good Penguin Who's Okay can be in matchups where you can just draw a bunch of cards and, ice your entire deck on your own.
Yeah, no. I mean, like I said, I don't have much experience playing Bunkus deck, but for me, because I'm still learning, I have that one track mind of Ascending, Bunkus, Bismo. Like that's all I could think of. But with your experience, you're thinking about, you already noticed it right away how you could have the other win option opened up.
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
Once you get and that's the thing with the deck. There's just so many lines that you kind of have to figure out where to pivot, where to, could we have won a turn earlier if we went for the kill? Probably. But there was no real danger, I think, on his side. He couldn't play the cards you really have to worry about as a Bismo player are Snow Globe. Mm-hmm. That card is the best card against Bismo, which is one of the reasons I like to always hold as many adventure squads as I can, so that they can't play penguins once they play Snow Globe. So if you can kind of clear out a couple of penguins and then play a Bashful into a Snow Globe, you're in a good position. You may not be able to win with Bismo or Bunkus anymore, but you can just win naturally at that point. So, but he was at such a low permanent count that he could not cast Snow Globe there. He would only have 12 permanents in play.
Right. Well, even then, like you said, once they play the Snow Globe, they've pretty much locked themselves out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, let's jump back into the lobby. A couple other questions, Suarez, for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Given that you played Bunkus, this deck, in set one for North American Championship, and then
Mhm.
set two for World Championship, like compare and contrast like your experience piloting the deck, but also the level of competition.
Yeah, the competition at the North American Zonals was a little bit easier.
Mhm.
I think we had somewhere in the 108 to 120 range. I don't remember the exact number. Um, that format, I don't think there was a close deck to Bunkus. I
Yeah,
think the BizBunk deck was by far the best deck. There were decks that could obviously beat it. I know that Kendall, can't think of his screen name, but Kendall is one of the better players who also top aided the
yeah, no,
LCQ. He top aided Whirl.
yeah. No, no, I'm
Kendall's a
not.
great
Yeah,
like.
no, I'm not. That's his handle.
Yep, there you go. Yep, no, I'm not. And I think at the North American Zonals, he played a Green Mega Penguin Caffeine deck with 4 snow globes. Because he recognized how
Wow.
bad the Bunkus matchup was.
Yeah.
Um, and it was just clearly the best deck there. Um, at Worlds, it I think it was the best deck for the field.
Hmm.
I think everybody was really really worried about Coliseum going in the Worlds,
Yes.
and then everybody figured out pretty quickly that red purple was just the best deck.
Against.
Um,
Yep.
Red purple just did everything it needed to do. It was great against the Bellyacre decks, and Bunkus again, like we talked about at the beginning of this. It's pretty hard to play online, so you're not going to see a ton of it on the ladder. And I think people kind of got complacent and like, oh well, Bunkus isn't good
Yeah.
right now. Coliseum's really good, and they would have been right if the format would have been 70% Coliseum. Bunkus would have not been very good because it is very hard to win that matchup.
Yeah.
But when you know more than half the field is playing red purple, that was great. Like during my buy at Worlds, I kind of walked around and just saw all the red purple everywhere and felt great. Like that was exactly what I wanted to see. Um, and the competition at Worlds, significantly higher than what it was at the North American Zonals. Um, we had 3 players from the Philippines. We had I think 3 or 4 players from Italy, and then all of the best players in the U.S. that showed up as well. Obviously, Eton won Worlds all the way from the Philippines, which was great to see. I love when international players get to come to our events because we have no idea
Yeah.
outside of some ladder games like how good these players are. So it was really good to see them in person. Carry cards, she was great.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I had really good matches with everybody for the most part, and everybody was very, very. There was no free wins
Yeah.
outside of matchups just being really good. Shout out to Doc Hamill, great community member in Discord and through everything else. We had a top 8 match that was one of our games was exceptionally close, and it had no business being that close because the matchup was just atrocious. He made a really good plan to beat other red purple decks, but gave up any percentage of possibility of really beating a Bunkus deck out of 3 games. So
Yeah.
um, we had some really really good match, a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that he was able to top 8 as well.
Yeah. So take me back to the championship matchup. Finals, you versus Eaton. You know, uh, he had a BizBunk deck with a slightly
Mm-hmm.
different flavor than you. So I'm sure you probably watched the replays by now and thought
Yeah,
back on the match. Like,
absolutely.
do you think that that matchup is basically a 50-50 between you and him, depending on a draw, or were there things that you felt like you made a mistake on, or that he did better? Like, to walk us through your
Yeah,
thoughts on that.
yeah, I did go back and watch the matchup, and I felt pretty good about it overall. I did make like one, or, I missed a penguin who's okay trigger, but that didn't actually end up mattering.
Yeah.
But for decisions that mattered, I don't think there was anything that I did wrong, and that's something I do when I watch any matches where I'm on coverage is kind of just go back. Um, I played TCGs for so long that I have no problem losing. If I lose, I lose. That's part of TCGs. You can't win them all. But it does kind of bug me when I make the mistake and it costs me the
Yeah.
game. That eats at me. So I was pretty happy to see that. I don't think I made any glaring mistakes in that match. I think game one I just had a garbage hand,
Hmm.
mulliganed what I mulliganed trying to find pieces, didn't find anything, and he just kind of ran over me and went for it. Game two, kind of the opposite. I had, a double ascending penguin draw, and he didn't.
Yep,
So I kind of just ran over him there. And then game three was just was a good hard fought game.
it was.
I was a turn off of being able to beat him, and he was able to win the turn. So it's that's kind of the way that goes in that matchup. If you have all the pieces, it can really just be, one person's going to go off one turn earlier than the other.
Yeah, and so I guess in the mirror match, it's just getting your pieces as quick as possible and kind of going to the combo, right?
Yeah. I think in that particular matchup, I'm slightly favored
Hmm.
because we both have Tinas that are bad. But he has, an Opera House that's not good. He has a Pop and Pete that's not good.
Yep.
The Layer 2 technology is really interesting. I saw him playing that on ladder ahead of Worlds
Yeah.
and didn't really understand it until I got to see him play it at Worlds, and that piece of tech was really cool. There's some really sweet things you can do with like playing a cheap ascending penguin for 3 and then playing a penguin who breaks the fourth wall out of your ice for 1 and
Yeah.
then playing another one for 1, and you can just start doing some crazy things with only 6 rods. Um, but I don't think it's I don't have the experience Eton does. I don't think it's particularly good in the mirror because it's kind of a liability.
Right. Because
He can't play it and then say go a lot of the times.
yeah.
Uh, in one of the games, I think he played it. He utilized its ability, and then he popped and pewed back to his hand
Yep.
to make sure that I couldn't get any ability from it. Um, but yeah, it was fun. I think it's about as 50-50 as it gets. Eton was a great player.
Right.
I have no qualms or any concerns about how everything ended. I think we had as good of a match as we could have.
Right. And like I said too, I think your credentials speak for itself. North American champion backed it up with a runner-up performance. I mean, that validates it, in anyone's minds of how good of a player and strong of a deck that you have. Going back to you mentioned that you saw, you kind of made that call about Coliseum and then Red Purple sort of
Hmm.
dominating, and then that kind of gave you the confidence to bring BizBunk. Um, Now that set three is supposed to come, late first quarter, let's say March, April, but there's still some SCG events, Vibes 10K coming up. What are your, if you mentioned you weren't participating, but if you were to participate, like how confident would you be in bringing BizBunk again? Do you think BizBunk has any more tournament life left in 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. We all kind of kid with each other in the Discord, I think it was Tugs who was like, now that people are respecting BizBunk,
Yep.
well, people were quote respecting BizBunk for Worlds or just thought it wasn't good. Um, I think the deck is the best deck that you can play in the game right now. I
Mhm.
think there's a meta game where Coliseum is everywhere and you just can't compete with that. But I think it's still a very good choice. The fun thing about the deck is the way people have to fight it makes their deck worse. You have to put things like Binkus in your deck or
Yeah.
Snow
Snow
Globe
Globe. Yep.
or yeah, things like that you don't really want in your deck. But
Yeah.
you have to have something because otherwise you're not going to win. Random Jobber got me at Worlds with a Binkus that I didn't see coming. Just
Mm.
completely blew me out of the game. Um, in the Swiss portion. So once you know about it, it's a little bit different. But you can definitely catch the players if they're not playing around it. I think people should probably play Misplace a little bit more to make sure that they can kind of shut off some pieces from the Bismunk deck because that card's also good against other decks.
Yeah.
Whereas cards like Dinkus and for the most part Snow Globe aren't particularly good against everything else.
Yeah. You're right.
So I think it still has plenty of life left in it. I think they've printed the cards to beat it. I just think it's easier said than done to beat it.
Okay. Yeah. No, agree. All right.
Let's do it.
All right. So here's our second BizBunk game. Let's see how this one pans out. All right. So let me see if I learn from you, Suarez. Ascending Penguin, good. I would probably throw the other four.
Yep, that's exactly what I would do. I
Okay.
agree. And the thing is, people will keep things like Bashful and things like that go well with Ascending, but you're
Yes.
just going to keep drawing them. You're going to
Okay.
draw so many cards in the deck that you don't need to.
Okay. Yeah, because like my old self before I had talking to you, I would have kept this guy for sure, and probably
Hmm.
Bashful, like you
Yep.
just said.
Yep. Yep. You just want draw spells. You want Ascending Penguin. Yeah, this hand's much better.
Okay.
I'd love a Penguin who's okay, but can't complain. All right, so we'll probably ice that philosophical debate, most likely. Keep the rest of that.
Okay.
And something when I'm playing the deck, I've maybe incorrectly, I've always made sure I can pitch 2 cards to Brainy Penguin before I play it.
Hmm.
And when playing Eton, I think he cast that card 2 or 3 times against me where he only pitched 1 card, um, which was very interesting. And I wish I would have picked his brain a
Oh,
little bit more on that because
ice
you don't have to do 2.
says ice up to 2 cards.
Yes, I always do 2 cards because it doesn't feel like that good of a card if you only ice 1. But like I said, he did it multiple times. I watched him do it in multiple matches. Um, so it's certainly something I want to give some consideration to. Maybe it does make sense to do that, just to get rid of 1 card, move on,
Yeah,
and it may not be worth waiting to may have the second card. So
it's funny you brought. I didn't even know that was an option. I thought it was always ice 2 cards. Oh God, that's an
yeah,
experience gap for you right there. All right, so probably one of the
okay, yeah,
studies.
yep, one of those study all nights.
Okay.
Yep.
It's funny what reading does, huh?
I know, right? All right, so Milkmaid, that's not good. Um,
Oh, got your
Milk,
penguin. Penguins.
uh, um, hmm. So I think we're gonna have to go. We're just gonna have to get removal going. I actually think we're gonna ice or we're gonna rod the penguin who's okay and play the brainy. I think we need to get our rods, or excuse me, our pudge in play so that we can actually cast this adventure squad.
Got it.
I'm worried we're going to get ramped into a bellyacre or um, ramp into a coliseum or something
Yeah.
like that. So slowing them down is probably a priority right now. So I would probably do that. I'd play the brainy, and then I would probably just. I think this is going to be one of those occasions where we try this out, where we just hit study all night. Um, yeah, let's just
It's
try
fun.
doing one. Let's see what that works.
All right.
See,
It works.
that's if this is Coliseum, that's the kind of the card you want because this
Yeah.
will steal the
Vibe check.
priority. Yep, steal the
Yeah.
vibe check from them.
Okay. I that's the first time I've ever iced 1 card from Brainy. So
Yeah,
first.
same.
We're-
First time together, buddy.
yeah. Special moment. It's funny how we could learn from different people there. So that was nice to
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely intrigued me. I just never. Oh, okay.
oh,
So I don't think that's what this is.
okay. So it looks like he's
All right.
milling.
Yeah, it looks like he's just milling. So I feel a lot better about that now.
Okay. So
I think
seeing
we'll probably join him in the mill plan. Um,
so probably one thing
I
to
would.
watch out for is like what you were saying earlier at the very beginning, the misplace.
Yes.
Especially mill decks, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
But we do have an adventure squad, so we're safe from that right now.
Okay.
So I would rod the Bunkus, and then I would play an Ascending Penguin, and now we have adventure squad up. We don't need to worry about stealing the vibe check just yet anymore, since we're getting iced,
Yep.
and they're trying to target us with icing. I don't think we're worried about slowing them down any. Um, I'd rather they run out of card. Yeah. So, um, hmm. I think we probably do Adventure Squad the Milkmaid here,
Okay.
just to
Take advantage of the pudge.
take advantage of the pudge while we have it.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems good. So we'll choose Ascending and we'll choose Milkmaid. And this way we also tie the vibe check, so they're running out of cards, which is good because we don't really care. We have another Ascending, we have a Penguin who slides.
Yeah.
We can start icing cards when we want to. So
And we chose the milkmaid because we tend to keep cards in hand, right?
yeah, a lot of the times we're
Yeah.
going to be drawing cards with Overwhelm with Knowledge. We're going to, we're always trying to draw cards.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I think we'll just pass it up, tie the vibe check, and move on. Yeah, despite that Cannonball Penguin being a 6 vibe, Milkmaid's going to get bigger for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that card's really good. Okay, all right.
You want to look at the ice real quick, or
Uh,
not yet?
no, I think we're good. We only have
Okay.
8 cards, so we're not
Yeah.
in any area where we're casting a bunkus yet. So there's 3 ascending penguins in our ice. That's concerning.
Yeah.
But he only has 1 pudge right now, so I would probably play the Overwhelm with Knowledge as our rod. I'd play the ascending penguin out because he can't. With only 1 pudge, there's very little that they're going to be able to do.
Yeah.
They also, you know.
And then
So yeah, I would go ahead and play that.
right, and unlikely he's playing Gotham, right? It just doesn't go with the deck.
Yeah, got him just fallen out of favor
Yeah.
completely.
Okay.
If in set 1 you really had to play your not a rod anymores and your Gothams to be able to deal with ascending penguin and popcorn penguin,
Yeah.
and but nowadays, yeah.
Do we
Okay.
want to
Yeah.
activate this here or not yet?
I don't think we do. I think we're okay right now. We're not in a position where we're ready to lose rods yet.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll just pass. We'll lose the vibe check, draw a card. We'll be rotting one of these Bismos, and we'll probably play the penguin who slides here, depending on what we draw.
Hmm.
Oh, well, now we're gonna ice, or we're gonna rod the penguin of the 4th wall, who breaks the 4th wall,
And that's
rather than the Bismo.
because we could pull it into our ice with
Yep,
Overwhelm.
yep,
Okay.
and that's exactly what we're gonna do this turn. Yep, we're
Okay.
gonna go ahead and yep, we'll probably play that rod. We'll play the most likely play the penguin who slides, and then ice 6 cards. Ooh, he Binkus us.
Oh.
Oh no, he milled us. Okay, he just he did both.
Yeah. Yeah. So the pizza slice milled us while this guy pinkest.
All right, we're still gonna play the penguin who breaks the 4th wall as our rod.
Okay.
Now he has 2, which is concerning, but he did have to put ascending penguins back.
You put
He
one
left 2
back.
in the ice, but
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
put 1 back, which is still good. So I think we'll just play the penguin who slides here.
Okay. And
We'll go ahead and
are we saving this the bigger vibe for?
yeah, we'll save that for when we want to definitively win a vibe check,
Got it. Okay.
because the penguin who slides can be targeted by anything and it just dies.
Yeah.
So I want to keep the bashful for when we want to make sure we win a check.
Okay.
Okay, we hit a what?
And then you're holding the Bismo, one for possible combo, one for additional rod for later.
Yeah, we'll probably play it for a rod next turn, and then
Okay.
the only reason we didn't play Bismo here is because we're going to go ahead and play Overwhelm with Knowledge on action phase
Yeah.
from
Got
our
it.
ice. We'll sack the 4th wall for it.
And then do we like this that we keep getting cards from his orb? Like it's not a concern, right?
Yeah, I mean I think it's great.
Okay. Okay.
I mean I don't want him getting cards,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to complain.
So over.
So I'll go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and sack the penguin who breaks actually. Yeah, penguin who breaks the 4th wall first. Yep.
And then let it resolve.
Yeah, just let it resolve. So we'll win the vibe check. We'll get a rod. We'll go to 6. Um, yeah, okay. I think we're fine here.
Okay.
So we just let it pass. See if he plays anything. He did not. Great. Oh, his Binkus was bigger. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hmm.
Let's see what he does here. So he's at 11 permanents. Yeah. How many cards are in our
Deck
deck?
21.
21. Okay.
And we've lost all our bunkus styles in the ice.
Yeah, but we have one in our rods, so we can play the 4th wall from our ice
Mm,
and immediately put a bunkus into play if we want that way.
okay.
So like you can play your what as your rod and
Mhm.
then play the 4th wall from the ice.
Oh, double
Oh
binkus.
man. Ugh. Okay. All right. Well, it's getting harder. How big are these binkuses? 14?
14. Yep.
All right, let's play the what. Make sure we tap the 2 far left for the penguin who breaks the 4th wall.
Okay. So we were gonna tap what and bunkus.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Those 2. We'll sack those 2. We'll have some triggers. And double binkus is a lot. How many cards are in our ice now?
We'll
Are
have
in our deck, sorry, 24.
23.
Okay. 23. But he has 14 permanents. So we're gonna have to adventure squad here for sure.
Hmm.
I would go ahead and play the Bashful. That way the Bashful will kill his Binkus. And we'll kill.
The other one.
If we kill the other one, we'll win the vibe. No, he'll still win the vibe check. This is tricky because then he can just replay the Binkus.
Yeah.
Um, let's go ahead and just play Bunkus out of the graveyard and try and yep, we'll just shrink down his yep, go ahead and put the instance back and then yep, what? And then the Sending Penguins
Sending.
and then Braining Penguins. Yeah. Yep. Any penguins now don't matter. Just, yep. Keep click them.
All right.
Perfect. That's yep. So now we should be tied
Hmm.
because our bunkus should be the same as his binkus.
Correct.
Um,
We're at 17.
so we're at 17.
16
We'll draw
now.
the card. Yeah. We will tie the vibe check. He won't win here. He'll go first, but then we'll have a turn. Oh
Oh,
no.
wow.
Cool. All right.
Restart. Restart.
Yeah, yeah, restart it.
So he has the
Tricky deck.
Baron, which means he'll probably Binkus our Bunkus, right?
Yep. 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 All right. Well, not much we can do about that. So let's see what happens.
I guess the good news is we have card advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have 4 rods,
Yeah.
but we do have card advantage. Oh man. All right, so he's gonna Binkus us
Mhm.
to Oblivion.
So this is basically the kind of deck that's almost
This
count
is the deck that if you want to try and beat some Bunkus, this is the way to do it. Lots of Binkuses.
right.
Like I said before, I said putting Binkuses into your deck is not a good strategy if you're putting but if your deck can work with Binkus,
Yeah.
it certainly is. He's already icing, so against non-Binkus decks, it's still good. All right, so we have a little bit of time, so let's play the Bismo as a rod because we don't need it. We have one already. Let's play the Penguin who it's not very good, but let's go ahead and just play it. Play the Penguin who's okay. Play the Tina. Let's stop this rod or this Orb of Hopium. He doesn't need any more cards. He's got enough cards.
Yeah, let's keep him at one.
Yep, he'll still win the rod here, but that's what it is. So
Okay.
let's check our ice. What do we got in there? What did he leave?
All
He
penguins.
left nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well played, sir. Okay.
Yeah, he got rid of the
Yep.
overwhelms and the Bunkus pretty much looks like the
Yep.
main
No, that
targets, right?
checks out. Well
Okay.
played. So
And we're milling him or
yeah,
us
we're still. How many cards does he have?
32.
Okay, yeah, still us.
Okay.
Still us. Did the what put anything special in there?
Purple
Nope.
Mega.
Okay. So I think he's at 14. I think we're dead. I don't think we have an out at this point.
Yeah.
We're probably playing, depending on what he does, we're probably playing Bismo, and he's playing 2. Okay, yeah, I think we're dead.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we have squads, but we don't have purple pudge. Not enough for
yeah,
2.
mill ourselves. We can get Purple's Pudge, but I don't think it matters. He's gonna have we can't get 4 Purple Pudge, so I
Yeah.
think he's just got it.
Okay.
Yeah, a well-deserved win.
Yeah. So basically, that's us running into a brick wall, right?
That is a brick wall, for sure. I think we could have come out of this without the Send It Too Hard.
Yeah.
But the Send It Too Hard basically locked that up because he had priority. He has the Baron. He clears the board, and then he gets to play
Pinkus again.
Binkus again, clearing us out. So yeah, I don't think we had a shot there.
So if we had priority, we could have put our Bunkus in play because we had 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That would have been the
Yep.
place. Put it out there first.
Yes.
Okay. Got
Yep.
it.
Yep. We can control things the way we want to control them.
All
It's
right.
still not good, obviously, but
Right.
you know.
Okay.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, it's good to experience, both sides of it, like what's good, how to play the deck, but
Absolutely.
also what the deck is weak to. All right, so thank you very much, Suarez. We're going to go ahead and wrap up with a couple of final questions here.
Sure.
All right. First question. We just went through a couple of games of BizBunk. We've been talking BizBunk guide for the most of the time in this video. What would your takeaway advice is for new players trying to learn this deck? And what would you and another advice for people that are more familiar but trying to take it to the next level with BizBunk?
Yeah, if you're trying to learn the deck, just play with it in paper, not online first. Even if you have to, um, if you don't have all the cards, you can always, just write a card on the back of a card to pretend that it's, if you don't have bunkuses, you can write bunkus on the back of a common,
Hmm.
and just goldfish the deck. You really need to learn when you can go for the combo. It's not even a matter of, you can learn how to play around removal and play around things that interact with you later. You need to understand the basics of the deck and how many cards you ice with Ascending Penguin when you play other penguins. When to discard certain cards, the Brainy Penguin. Um, so it's really just a matter of learning that and learning the actual physical portion of separating your graveyard or your ice and kind of looking at all the cards. There's just a lot of dexterity that's involved.
Hmm.
So when you go from the online client to try and play it in paper, you need to have that experience in paper if you're going to play it. Just knowing how the dexterity works. That would be my biggest recommendation. Then if you're going to play it online, just play it against the AI. There's no clock. There's no time limit when you're playing against AI. You're not going to get a good match because it's going to just be a yellow or a green starter.
Right.
But that's okay because you're just playing goldfishing. You're just trying to learn the way the deck operates, and just do that a bunch.
Right, right. And then for someone that's like familiar with the deck but trying to take it to the next level, would you tell them like experiment with different cards, or is there different mechanics they should be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a core to the deck. There's plenty of flex blots in the deck. I
Hmm.
know, in when I look at this list, I think the Penguin Who Slides, the philosophical debate, the number of what's and the number of study all nights can flex. I played for what's online because you need to reset the timer, but you don't need to play four in paper. I
Okay.
think it's still good because it helps ice faster. But if you want to find room for other cards, if you want to have a Binkus for the mirror,
Hmm.
if you want to, there's different things you can play and figure out. Also, just kind of determining what your metagame is going to be, because if you know you're going to run into a field of just a bunch of Colosseums, you probably
Hmm.
don't want to play this deck.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to beat a Coliseum once it resolves. Tronker, when we played it, I was blessed to always have Tina on top of my deck every time. Never failed. I feel like
Yeah.
it was like 15 games in a row. It seemed like, um, but that's not the case when you play for real. Obviously, just that was just luck. So yeah, just picking your spots, knowing when to play the deck based on what's going on in the field, and I think that's your best bet. The flex cards are flex cards. Like the core of the deck is really what matters.
Hmm. Got it. Great advice. What's your plans for 2026?
So I'm going to be working Milwaukee for SCG Con. I will most likely be at SCG Con Richmond. I think I'll be playing there.
Okay.
I think I'll be playing SCG Con Washington DC. I will not be playing SCG Con Cincinnati most likely. I'll have to take a break for that one.
Hmm.
And then we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to try and play in most of the East Coast ones, Baltimore, Hartford. But some of them I have to work. That's
Yeah.
just part of my job. So I can't play all of them, but I'm definitely going to try and play at least two or three more.
Nice. Nice. Sounds good. And then last question before we sign off here. Um, what what would your recommendation be for the team to ensure the growth or success of Vibes? Because you work so much with different card
Yeah.
games and the SCG.
I mean, TCGs are very hard to grow. We're in a time now where it's, I call it a renaissance, where there's a TCG coming out. It seems like every other week.
Hmm.
And some of them are really, really big hitters, really big IPs that are coming to the market. So I think Vibes and Orange Cap kind of knows their place and like their community and what they're trying to do there. I think having a digital client is a massive step up on a lot of games. Honestly, one of the reasons I was able to even continue really playing Vibes is because the online client exists. Um, for all of its faults, I probably wouldn't play the game if it didn't exist. To be perfectly honest, I was able to get Dummy Thick in season 0.
Hmm.
I played a little bit in season 1 and 2, and then kind of had to stop. But I think, focusing on the organized play system, which I think they're doing, we're seeing more and more at SCG Con. And yeah, just kind of just growing the base there. Walk, don't run. That's always my
Right.
recommendation. Is people, you have a great game. I think people will gravitate towards it over time. Just keep exposing everybody to it.
Great, great advice. Love to hear it from someone with as much experience as you. All right. Before we sign off, anything else you want to throw out there?
No, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much for having me on. And I was glad to do it.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate you being here as well.